Hello, Artful Manifestors. Thank you for joining me today for this timeless pick a card tarot reading. Whenever you come across this reading is when you're meant to hear it. To choose your reading, you're going to choose from one of these crystals that I'm about to introduce, or one of the cards I'm going to reveal. I always set my intentions to align with your highest and best good. Once you choose your reading, you'll find a link to all the readings in the description box below, as well as a list of all the cards that I use during readings. All right, for the first reading, we have Hematoid Quartz. And for reading number 2, we have Black Tourmaline. Couldn't think of the word for a minute there, it escaped me. And for reading number 3, Apopholyte. All right, let's look at the cards. For the first reading, this is the image. And for reading number 2, this is the image. Also, this is card 19, and this is card 22. And for reading number 3, this is the image. Card 25. All right, let your intuition be your guide. Whichever image or crystal you're most drawn to is most likely the reading meant for you. Hello, reading number 1. You chose the Hematoid Quartz, also called Fire Quartz or Harlequin Quartz. It's a blend of clear quartz with inclusions of hematite. And this union, it marries the amplifying and clarifying qualities of quartz with the grounding, stabilizing force of hematite. Its quartz component amplifies energy and intention, while hematite pulls the energy down into the body and earth. And together, they help you stay rooted while accessing higher wisdom, giving clarity without drifting into ungrounded states. It's especially helpful for those who get lost in the mind or spiritual realms, bringing insights back into embodied action. This fire quartz or hematoid quartz is known as a stone of transmutation. It can transform chaotic or scattered emotions into centered strength. Its fiery hematite inclusions bring balance to the root chakra, offering stability when processing wounds, anxiety, or overwhelm. It helps you see anger, fear, or grief not as a blockage, but as energy to be integrated and redirected toward healing. And the iron of the hematite fortifies willpower, courage, and resilience, while quartz's amplifying properties make it a strong ally for setting intentions of self-worth, sovereignty, and confidence. Spiritually, it's a stone that reminds you that power can be steady and calm, not forceful, but enduring. It harmonizes the root chakra with the crown chakra, the hematite and the quartz, creating a bridge between physical and spiritual realms. And this alignment allows you to feel safe and grounded while exploring mystical or psychic experiences. Many use it for meditation to remain anchored while opening the intuitive senses. And it has a healing presence. Fire quartz is believed to clear and stabilize energy fields, dissolving negative vibrations and preventing psychic overwhelm. It encourages balance between yin and yang energies within, reminding you that light and shadow are both sacred. It holds the vibration of integration, healing fragmentation within the self. So, in short, it's a stone of grounded transformation, and it helps you alchemize raw emotions into clarity and anchor higher wisdom into the body and step into an empowered wholeness, which goes perfectly with the card. Focus on the big picture. We even see a crystal here coming out of the eye. And usually when you think about focusing on the big picture, we say that to somebody who's getting lost in the details. And the hawk here is not only standing on this quartz, but emulates that energy of a higher perspective, right? The crown chakra. Looking at the big picture, the whole picture. And over here we see a lighthouse. This hawk is aligned with the lighthouse, which is shining its light on this bee. And we see it wearing a crown, so it's the queen bee. And the queen bee doesn't micromanage her hive. The hive, every bee in the hive does its part. And she focuses on her part, her role, and lets everything else take care of itself. She trusts that everything else will take care of itself. So you're being called to believe and trust that you're co-creating with the universe, and focus on what you want rather than how you get it. All right. Let's get some tarot cards and find out some more. Okay, that flew out onto the floor. Let me grab it. All right, a 6 of Wands. Five of Wands. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Very interesting. All right, I love your spread. It's aligning so perfectly with the energy of the fiery quartz and focus on the big picture hawk, queen bee card. The Six of Wands speaks of what your soul longs for, which is recognition, victory, and being seen in your light. We see someone here literally on stage with the spotlight on them. You want acknowledgement for your efforts. You have worked hard, often quietly, and the Six of Wands says you want your achievements to be noticed and honored, not just for vanity's sake, but because your journey has meaning and you want it to ripple outward, to have a positive impact on others. You want that moment of triumph. And this card points to a desire for breakthrough, where others finally see what you've carried and created. You want to stand tall, not in isolation, but celebrated by a community that affirms your worth. Deep down, this card is about inspiring others, leading by example. You don't just want success, you want your success to lift others, to show them it's possible to rise. What you truly want is to feel aligned with your path so fully that the outer world mirrors back the truth of your inner radiance. You want a yes from the universe, a sign that your fire has been witnessed and your journey is meaningful. And I love that we have this fiery quartz, which in and of itself is a wand. And here we have the Six of Wands, recognition, and what comes before the Six of Wands, the Five of Wands, more fire. We even see fire here. And this card often shows conflict, competition. They're all trying to reach the light, but they're not working together. So it's scattered energy, which is what I was picking up with this card. Focus on the big picture. When you focus on why you're not good enough, why you don't deserve it, when you compare yourself to others, when you scatter your thoughts, you scatter your energy, which isn't focusing on your goal, right? If everybody focused on that goal together, they could achieve attaining it. And it's like each one of these people, it's a double meaning. It's parts within you that are in conflict with each other, and perhaps things of the external world. So to align fully with your path, that the outer world reflects your radiance, first you want to meet the places where your energy is split and scattered, where you're being pulled into proving yourself, comparing, or battling. So notice where you're competing for space, recognition, or validation. The Five of Wands ask, is this really my battle? When you withdraw from unnecessary contest, you can conserve your energy and focus it for your true path. And begin to transform struggle into play. What feels like conflict sometimes can be reframed as practice, sparring, not war. The outer noise becomes training ground for your inner clarity. Each challenge shows you something, sharpens your stance, balance, and voice. And wands are all about fire. So I love that we started with the fire quartz, and we have 2 out of the 3 cards are wands, the element of fire. They're about will, your creativity. When 5 flames flare in different directions, it looks chaotic. But if you listen, there's a hidden rhythm. Your task is to find that rhythm within yourself and move with it, not against it. It's radiance through distinction. You shine most brightly when you stop trying to blend or compete in others' arenas. By embracing your unique style, your fire signature, the outer world begins to reflect back your authenticity instead of your struggle. Focus on the goal. Focus on the finish line. That's what I'm hearing. Focus on the finish line. Not what you look like, not what somebody else is doing. Just focus on your finish line. And we have the 5 of Pentacles reversed, which is gentle reassurance. When the card's upright, it shows lack, hardship, feeling shut out, left out. But the reversal signals recovery, hope, and re-entry into abundance. It says you're not as alone as you once feared, and the universe is already weaving the details on your behalf. To trust the universe with the how, you must first soften your grip on the fear of, what if it doesn't happen? The reversal whispers that the door you thought was locked is actually opening. The key's right there. All you need to do is see the key and open the door. You're shifting from scarcity to reception. This is how you trust the universe. When you release the mindset of lack, I have to control everything or it's all going to fall apart, that kind of thinking, then space opens for the universe to move resources, people, and opportunities into your path. You know, part of this is also like you competing with the forces of nature, the forces of the universe, trying to deliver to you your desire. Right? The queen bee doesn't micromanage. The reversed card often shows help arriving. A friend, a community, even divine timing itself. Trust grows when you begin to notice the synchronicities and subtle ways the universe is already supporting you. Your job is the what, your intention, your aligned action, your goal, right? Focusing on that, the big picture, the finish line. And the universe holds the how. Releasing the details is an act of faith that the structure beneath the world is benevolent. So let go of the how and rewrite the story of hardship. Five of Pentacles reversed is the moment you realize what once excluded me actually refined me by trusting that even your struggles have had purpose. They have given you clarity, inspiration, motivation, wisdom, and it becomes easier to trust that your manifestations will also find their rightful form. Reading number 1. I am so excited for you because I feel like you're on the verge of a breakthrough. Just keep going. That's what your guides are saying. You're almost there. Trust. Focus on your goal. Why are you doing this? And that's going to get you there. Keep telling yourself, let's see what good comes out of this. Every little challenge, what am I gaining from this? Am I gaining clarity? Is it showing me what I want, what I don't want? Am I gaining wisdom? Am I learning something? Am I strengthening my voice? Amplify your intentions by focusing on that finish line. Reading number 1, I hope this resonates. Please let me know if it does. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 2. You chose the black tourmaline. So funny that I couldn't recall that during the intro. I know this stone well and that name well. It's very recognizable. It's a stone that feels like a guardian at the threshold. It's protective and shielding. It creates an energetic barrier that repels negativity, psychic attack, toxic influences. It acts as a spiritual filter, helping you discern which energies are yours and which belong to others. Many keep it by doors. Funny that we have a door here. Windows that might keep it on their body, wearing it to ward off intrusive or draining forces. It's strongly connected to the root chakra. It's grounding and rooting. It anchors your energy into the earth, helps stabilize emotions and thoughts during times of stress, fear, overwhelm. It assists in helping you remain present in the body, especially useful if you're an empath or sensitive, if you're a healer. It's cleansing and helps you to transmute energy. So black tourmaline doesn't just block negativity, it transforms dense energies into neutral or usable frequencies. It teaches resilience, that challenges can be alchemized rather than avoided. Clears stagnant energy from the aura, chakras, and even physical spaces. And it encourages empowerment and sovereignty. It strengthens personal boundaries, making it easier to say no without guilt. It encourages self-mastery by helping you stand firm in your truth. It aligns you with the vibration of safety and self-trust, reminding you, excuse me, that you are your own sacred protector. So interesting that I couldn't think of what to say during the intro, and now my throat is kind of, getting crackly and itchy. So I think that there is a great number of you that maybe does experience guilt when you say no. You have that trouble making boundaries. And here we have a threshold, right? No expectations. And look at this. This is reading number 2, and this is card 22. If you chose this reading because of that, or that was a contributing factor, let me know in the comments, please, because I always get excited when I see repeating numbers. And that's a sign from your guides. When you see that 222 or 22 or 2222, that is your guides connecting with you, reaching out to you. There is an invitation to trust in the universe, to surrender. You see all this black, and we even have black tourmaline. How interesting. I feel that you're trying to protect yourself, but you're doing this in a way that's defensive and repelling beneficial energies. So what your guides are telling me is that, and your guides are very talkative. What your guides are telling me is that there are things that are happening that feel like they're happening to you, and they want to remind you they're happening for you. So at any given moment, we have multiple goals that we're aligning to. For example, we might have kids, and we want those kids to become independent, happy, healthy adults, right? That are able to take care of themselves. And perhaps we have our own goals in our career. We have our own goals in our relationships with friends, with partners, with colleagues. We have our financial goals. We have all of these goals, these multiple goals, big and small. Maybe we want to redo our kitchen. Maybe we want a new car. We have all of these goals. And you have this overarching goal of wanting to be happy in your life, wanting to find balance, to feel grounded, to feel safe. And so something happens, and because you are trying to protect yourself, you're on this defense, when that thing happens, you see it as threatening one of your goals, when in reality, it's actually helping a different goal. You're just looking at the wrong path. So just asking your guides, okay, which goal is this helping me with? How is this helping me? Or just trusting, okay, I know this is helping me in some area of my life. I'm going to look for the evidence of that. All of this black is about surrendering. It's we all have feminine and masculine energies, and the black symbolizes the feminine energy of reception. So your guide's saying that you're pushing away. It says no expectations. So it's like you have all of these goals, and you have these expectations of how each of those goals is going to unfold. So when something happens that's not in that plan, you perceive it as threatening one of those goals, when in reality, it's actually aligning to one of them, it's helping line things up for it. So putting yourself in the receptive mode, in that mode of, okay, I'm ready to receive, and I understand that these things are happening for me. Wow, it's a lot. I feel like I don't even need to turn over these cards because your guides were so loquacious, as Hermione would say. All right, let's get some cards anyways and see what else we can find out. Something about transmuting. Oh my goodness. This came out in reading number 1 as the first card. Wow. Six of Wands, by the way. All right, reading second card. Knight of Swords. Doesn't this black stand out to you since we've been talking about black? Tourmaline and black receptive energy. And 8 of Pentacles. All right. Whoops. All right. It's so interesting because the question I was holding in mind when this card popped out was, what are you perceiving as a threat to your goals that is actually aligning you to another goal or aligning to another goal of yours? So at first glance, the Six of Wands is about victory, recognition, and being seen. But in this position of what feels like a threat, it suggests that visibility itself may feel intimidating. You may perceive attention, competition, or the weight of others' expectations as something that could derail your goals. It's so interesting that we started out with darkness and then we have a spotlight. It's what your guides are showing me is a seed in the darkness that is going to burst and reach for the sun. It's inevitable. So you may perceive this attention as a weight. Yet in truth, this spotlight is not a threat. It is a confirmation. The visibility you fear may actually be the very stage that allows another of your deeper intentions to bloom, to inspire others, to lead, to show others what's possible when you trust your path. So there's alignment hidden in this quote unquote threat, this so-called threat. What you perceive as pressure is actually aligning you with your soul's longing to share your gifts more widely. Sometimes we hide what we want because we're afraid to acknowledge it on some level. So there may be goals that you have, desires that you have that you're not consciously aware of, but subconsciously they're there and they're strong, and your guides in the universe are helping to bring them to light. The crowd cheering you on are allies. They're not rivals. They're watching Those may be the community you're meant to encourage or empower. And it's not a burden of success. The fear of, what if I succeed and it all changes, is actually aligned with your other goal, which is growth. Like I said, they're showing me this seed in the dark about to burst and grow. So change isn't a collapse of your vision, it's an expansion into your next horizon. Your guides are telling me there's something you're not even aware of that you want, not on a conscious level, but once you attain it, you're going to feel more whole, more powerful. And it's not that you're not whole, it's just that you're not seeing all the parts of you at this time. And the universe is showing you that what looks like a challenge to your current goals is actually clearing the way for your legacy goal to be seen, celebrated, and to lead others forward. Trust that recognition doesn't threaten your authenticity, it amplifies it. Wow, it's almost like the opposite of imposter syndrome, where you feel like somehow the recognition deludes your authenticity, but it's not. So the Knight of Swords is focused, determined, unrelenting in pursuit of their vision. But this same sharpness can also become a limitation. It's like tunnel vision. You may narrow your focus so tightly on how you think things should happen that you miss the organic, unexpected ways the universe is delivering your goals. We see chasing, right? He's chasing his motorcycle, rushing the process. The Knight wants speed, clarity, action. In this haste, you might push outcomes prematurely or demand answers before the timing is ripe. It's like this little seed in the ground. It might take 3 weeks to burst, and you don't want to rush it and dig it up before it has an opportunity to do what it needs to do. So rushing can limit the unfolding, right? We don't want to outrun that divine timing. With your keen mind, you may cling to a specific plan or method. If it doesn't go that way, frustration builds. Yet, the universe often prefers the scenic, roundabout route that holds hidden blessings. So those detours aren't actually detours. It's something you're meant to see. And the Knight leads with intellect and willpower. When you overuse the sword, you may resist surrender, right? We want to surrender. We want to receive. And you're limiting the universe's ability to weave miracles beyond logic. We started out talking about the feminine energy of reception. And the reason that black is feminine and receptive is because light moves into filling the darkness, right? The darkness receives the light. So that's the feminine energy. You want to be open to receive the light. The Knight of Swords is very masculine energy of charging forward. It's literally running, charging. So what it's showing you is that your greatest strength is decisive clarity, but it can become a limitation when it hardens into impatience of rigidity. So to free yourself, you must allow the winds to shift and carry you, trusting that not all victories are won by charging. Some arrive by opening to the unknown. And the Eight of Pentacles brings such a hopeful and grounded message. This card is how you can transmute past mistakes or perceived failures into your greatest successes. We see the craftsperson at the workbench patiently, steadily refining their art. Much different energy than this, right? Mistakes are raw material. What you call failures are not dead ends, but practice strokes that shape mastery. Success is built brick by brick. Each attempt, even the imperfect ones, become part of the foundation for your eventual excellence. Discipline is alchemy, the act of showing up, refining, and learning turns lead into gold. So this is the way to transmute is to reframe failure as training. Instead of viewing mistakes as evidence of weakness or incapability, see them as a very sharp tool, a chisel that can carve your skill. Each one teaches precision, endurance, and adaptability. And strive for consistency over perfection. The Eight of Pentacles reminds you that daily devotion matters more than grand leaps. Small, repeated steps transform setbacks into success stories. And allow yourself to remain an apprentice in spirit. When you see mistakes as teachers, you remain open to continual growth. And growth itself is success. Look at the light here. It's almost like here there's light coming from without, right? And here we see someone chasing. And now the light's coming from within. And there's some transmutation happening of recognizing when you're doing something out of pressure. And it's so nuanced, like feeling guilty about not tending to something seems louder to you than tending to your own needs. But when you do that, you radiate light and you inspire others. It's really fascinating. It's beautiful. When your work is aligned with love, even failures hold meaning and they become part of a sacred journey of dedication rather than obstacles. Your greatest successes are not born from avoiding mistakes, but from embracing them as part of your apprenticeship to life. We're all evolving and growing. By returning to your craft, your calling, your soul's work, again and again, You weave a story where even the broken threads strengthen the tapestry. So beautiful. Wow, this is really powerful. I feel this being a huge turning point. You're on a threshold. Look at this door. You are on this threshold of a huge transformation that comes from you transmuting something. Reading number 2, please let me know how this resonates. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 3. You chose Apopholyte, which is really, I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it's very luminous and iridescent. It brings clarity and higher connection. It opens and activates the third eye and crown chakra, enhancing intuition, clairvoyance, spiritual insight. It acts as a channel for higher guidance, making it a powerful ally for meditation, divination, and connecting with angels or spirit guides. It brings a sense of crystalline mental clarity, like a fog lifting so you can see the truth. It's calming, it's emotional healing, it radiates a soothing, high-frequency energy that reduces anxiety, stress, worry. It encourages surrender, releasing the need to control outcomes and trusting divine timing. It provides comfort during grief or emotional heaviness, reminding you of the eternal light within. And it's an amplifier. It works as an energetic amplifier, heightening the effects of other crystals and spiritual practices. It supports astral travel, lucid dreaming, journeying to the Akashic records, assist in removing energetic blockages, clearing stagnant energy, and raising your vibration. It's the embodiment of light. It brings a profound sense of purity, truth, and alignment with Source. It reminds you of your own divine essence, that you are not separate from spirit, but a radiant expression of it. It helps ground spiritual insight into everyday life so that wisdom doesn't just float above, but integrates into the heart and body. It's a perfect pair for this card. Claim your power. Unlike the previous card, the Panther with feminine energy, this is very masculine energy of moving towards your goals. It's believing in yourself, believing in your power. Really, this is the universe, your guides calling you out, telling you to... I'm hearing, this is literally what I'm hearing, suck it up, buttercup. So if that means something to someone, please put it in the comments. It's not something that I say, but that's what I'm hearing. Apopholyte is connected with you being able to get to the Akashic records. And this card is about the story that you're telling yourself. You are the creator of your reality. So if you keep telling stories of being a victim of circumstance, you keep weaving that energy into the fabric of your existence and your reality. And so you're being called out to write a new story. And your guides want you to know that you can go into the Akashic records and change your story. You can change the story that you're telling, that you are more powerful than a tiger, and they're calling you to claim that power. All right, let's get some tarot cards and find out more about this. Hey, I'm just the messenger, okay? So just remember that. You know, you are this pure essence that they want you to remember who you are. You're powerful. You're so much more powerful than you believe. All right. Queen of Swords. Three of Pentacles. And the Hanged Man. All right, this is perfect. The Queen of Swords comes forward with a crown of clarity and a sword of truth. She shows you that rewriting your story begins not by denying your pain, but by naming it with precision and then choosing what stays in the narrative. So the message of the Queen of Swords is to go from wound to wisdom. The Queen has weathered loss and trials, yet she doesn't define herself by them. She integrates them into her wisdom and lets them sharpen her discernment. And you can do that too. You can transform stories of what happened to me into what I have learned, claimed, and what I carry forward. This is a truth without illusion. The Queen of Swords is not swayed by pity or embellishment. She invites you to strip away the dramatics of victimhood and speak plainly. This is what happened. This is what I choose. This is what I know now. In this, you reclaim authorship. And perspective is power. Instead of circling the same story of hardship, the Queen helps you see the larger arc. Your story becomes less about circumstance and more about sovereignty. How you sharpened your blade, set boundaries, and clarified your voice. Name the lesson, not just the loss. For every hardship, ask, what did this teach me? What strength did I gain? What strength did it forge? Claim your authority. The Queen sits on the throne of her own voice. Rewrite with, I choose, I learned, I rose, instead of they made me, I couldn't, I had to. Make it powerful. Claim your power. Look at that. Speak from the present self. Tell the story not from the wound, but from the healed self who now carries the wisdom. This anchors your voice in power rather than fragility. And cut the threads of the old narratives. You have a sword. The Queen's sword severs illusions. Notice when you retell a story to prove you were wronged, then pause and consciously shift into the version where you stand as an author, not a victim. And the Three of Pentacles is how you can embrace this power, this divine power. And divine power isn't something you step into alone on a mountaintop. It's something you build, weave, and embody in harmony with others and with spirit. You're not alone. You have guides. Trust me, they're talking to me right now. And this is sacred collaboration. The Three of Pentacles remind you that your divine power shines most when it is expressed in community, when you allow your gifts to meet and mingle with the gifts of others. Your power isn't diminished by collaboration, it's amplified. It's mastery in the making. This card also speaks of craftsmanship. Stepping into your own divine power means honoring yourself as a sacred artisan, refining your skills, tending to your practices, and taking pride in the work of your hands and your heart. And again, co-creation with spirit. The unseen architect in this card is spirit itself. Your role is not to carry all the weight, but to recognize the divine blueprint guiding you. When you align with it, your steps become purposeful. Your power becomes clear. And you know, one of the things about Apopholyte is that it helps you to feel comfortable in your body while also connecting you to higher realms. Honor your gifts. See your abilities not as small or ordinary, but as sacred tools in the architecture of something greater. Seek aligned community. Share your light with others who recognize and honor it. Your divine power is meant to ripple outward. Build with intention. Approach your path as a sacred craft. Each choice, each action, each word becomes a stone in the temple of your life. And let spirit lead the design. Trust that there is a higher pattern unfolding. Your role is to add your thread, your stone, your song with devotion. And your guides want you to know, by following this path, following the guidance of the Queen of Swords, rewriting your story with clarity and authority, and embracing divine collaboration and sacred craftsmanship, the outcome is a profound shift in perception. The Hangman is the card of enlightenment through surrender. You will see your life and your power from an entirely new angle. What once felt like struggle or limitation transforms into meaning and alignment. By releasing the old story and stepping into co-creation, you gain not only clarity, but wisdom born of perspective. This is liberation from old narratives. You are no longer bound to stories of lack, of loss, or comparison. Instead, you view your past as sacred initiation. They keep telling me you are powerful, so you must be, because your guides are coming through strong. You're going to experience deepened spiritual alignment. The Hangman opens the crown, letting divine wisdom flow in. You experience greater trust in Spirit's timing and orchestration. You're going to have creative breakthroughs. By working with others and honoring your craft, inspiration arrives in unexpected ways, luminous ways, the aha moment that changes everything. And you're going to experience peace and surrender. You step into divine power, not through control, but through the grace of letting go. This surrender brings serenity and radiant presence. So powerful. Claim your power. Wow. Reading number 3. I hope this resonates. Please let me know if it does. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye.